Well, the first thing I'll say is that's another good UVA NC State game. You know, we've had the last couple of games. This is our third one. The last couple of them were overtime here, and then obviously in the ACC tournament. And this one came down to a three-point game. You know, completely different halves. If you look at it, you know, we played great. I thought in the first half, offensively and defensively. What I talked about with the team is at halftime we had 11 assists. We'd only given up 2 3-pointers, and we were moving the ball. We played well on both ends. We came out in the second half. I thought we played well enough the first 2 minutes offensively, and then I thought the ball stuck. And one of the things I've talked about is when you play Virginia, because they do a great job in gap protection, it's got to be more ball movement and player movement. Didn't get that. We only had 3 assists in the second half. We gave up 7 3-pointers in the second half, and that's just not a good formula to win. I've talked to these guys, and we preached on it, is this group needs each other to play well together to be able to win. And when you look at the first half, man, we were really, really good, and I didn't think we were very good in the second half. So, questions?
Kevin, what did change in terms of, over here on the phone, in terms of the three-point defense in the second half? And what did they do to get McNeely some better looks?
Well, I thought we lost them. I mean, we look at it, our pressure was tremendous in the first half. Like, we really got after them. And what happens is, because it's a new bunch, we got to figure out and learn how to play behind and with a lead. And I thought we relaxed. I thought we took a couple bad shots and a couple bad turnovers that led to them getting some easy baskets. And then obviously, once that happened, the crowd gets involved and the energy on the other end gets involved. So,
Kevin, I'm sure I'm not the only person in the building who was thinking a missed free throw and now the ball's in Michael O'Connell's hands. What did you want? I mean, besides making the basket, what did you hope that you could get in that last?
Well, I was hoping he could duplicate what he did in D.C. No, we tried to get a basket. We had no timeouts at that point. We tried to get a basket and try to get a screen into a down screen to get either JT or Breon. I don't remember which one was in the game at that time, to get a look off. You know, with 15 seconds left or 10 seconds left, we didn't necessarily want to take a bad three. We wanted to just take a shot. We knew we'd had enough time that if we fouled, we'd get another shot off.
Kevin, what's the status of Ben Middlebrooks? We heard that it was due to illness, and what were your thoughts on the way that the Bigs responded in this one?
Yeah, you know, Corey, I got an update early this morning, right before breakfast, that, you know, he had been throwing up a good portion of the night. I didn't know that. I also thought he may be available for the game, and we put him through warm-ups. And, you know, you guys, if you know Ben, if he can play, he can play. And then obviously we ended up, you know, throwing up again before the game. And at that point we made the decision that he wasn't going to be able to give us anything. He lost a lot of fluids. Don't know if it's something he ate. Don't know if it's a stomach virus. Something we got to figure out. Completely changes us. Obviously, he's had a great year so far. He's the leading shot blocker in the league. He's our toughness guy. That being said, I thought Brandon and Ish did a good job in the first half with his absence, but as the game went along, we completely missed him.
Coach, you were first in the ACC in turnover margin. Today, it was kind of flip-flop. In this first half, it seemed like you really took care of the ball, and you didn't commit your first turnover until about 7 minutes left. Second half, you seemed out of rhythm. What changed in that besides the ball simply sticking?
Well, I think it was mentality. This is a new group, and you know, you look over there and everybody's saying, I told these guys, you got to figure it out, because what happens is we're playing well together, and you look out there and some of your better guys may not be scoring the basketball. And so now it's like, hey, I got a 12 to 14 point lead, let me go score. And that's the wrong formula against this team, this program in this building. I thought the ball, I didn't think we moved the ball as much. I didn't think we drove the ball as much. I thought we settled a lot of it. And a lot of our turnovers came from our interior play, which was weird because they didn't trap us like they normally do. And so you look at it, Brandon had 4 turnovers, which is not really characteristic of him. And then everybody kind of had 1 or 2, and it ended up being 11.
And going down the stretch, I know all you guys coach situationals. You only had one timeout, you had 0 timeout. Were you at least pleased with the execution in your late game situations?
Yeah, I thought JT had a great look at the basket. I mean, you couldn't have, I couldn't have drawn up anything better to get him to get a 2-foot jump shot right at the basket, and he missed. When we decided to call a timeout, we did a good job, and Marcus executed. We were going to bring Breon off a stagger screen, and I told Marcus, we'll take 2 or 3 if you can get to the rack, get to the rack, and we did a good job, and then we executed our defense. We knew held possession would be our ball. We had them pinned in the corner, and we couldn't quite get the tie up, and so that was a tough part of it.
Kevin, with Middlebrooks not available today, would you have used 2 bigs at the same time, given that Saunders had such a mismatch inside?
Absolutely. We had prepared all week at times to be able to play Ben and Brandon together. And, it's weird, when you lose a guy right before the game, it's hard to adjust. Like if you got 3 or 4 days and he's out, all of a sudden you think about that your starting center is going, you going into the game, he's been practicing really well. And then all of a sudden you get a phone call that he's probably not going to be able to go. First of all, I feel bad for Ben because there's not another guy who wants to play more than him. And then obviously it changes our team. And we didn't, I thought we did enough in the first half where it didn't show up. But in the second half, as the game went along, you could tell we needed his body.
What did they do well with Elijah Saunders coming in the post, especially early in the second half, and just what did you make of his game?
Yeah, we thought that they would throw the ball to Elijah. They did the same thing in the first half. We just didn't pressure the ball enough. They were direct passes while we wanted to front the post. We knew that they had a size advantage. In the first half, our pressure was so effective that they couldn't make those passes. And in the second half, we lost our pressure a little bit.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Sean.